It's happened yet again. Actual results have trailed budget by a significant amount. The continuous shortfall from budget has annoyed the hotel owner. He's demanding to know what's going wrong. Hotel managers tend to blame market situations for not achieving budget. However, the fact is, the competition is doing well. Do you want to have continued chaos on your hands? What am I talking about? You want to know. Fair enough. Room revenue is the most important source of hotel revenue, but it needs a focused approach to clear process with the right tools. However, the problem with hotel managers is not knowing how to budget, but this is one of the key skills expected of them. Many of them never approach the budget in a planned way. You certainly do not want to leave money on the table with ignorance. Using hit or miss approaches is not the way to budget. It only results in targets not achieved consistently. Moreover, the owner is on your case, remember? Knowing where to begin is critical in the revenue budgeting process. You need to start with what I call building blocks of hotel room revenue. Why is this important? For you to end up with a powerful room revenue forecast, you would want that, right? There are 3 stages of the hotel room revenue budget. There is a reason we have broken it down into these 3 stages. We will learn about that shortly. Take a look at what you will end up with Excel as the budget tool. Voila! A final income statement in Microsoft Excel under Uniform System of Accounts and with current month year to date for this and last year's and budget, including the requisite variances. That's the full body. However, that powerful budget room revenue forecast result needs you to take some structured steps without fail. Let's see what those steps are. This is the process you will follow for effective budgeting with Excel. You begin with the actuals, then you link the actuals with the budget, and you link them with these important major KPIs. And then all that travels to the rooms department statement. And finally, to the hotel income statement, including variances, as I said before. You'll now go through strategies that unfortunately most hotel managers fail to recognize. It's a huge reason probably why you are behind budget for 5 months consecutively. Knowing where to begin is critical, as I said earlier. You need to start with exploding a myth first, and then move on to what I call the building blocks of hotel room revenue. The critical process can be learned quite easily. However, there has to be a method to the madness, as the saying goes. You need proper planning. Would you target the major chunk, almost the entirety of the hotel revenue with a hit or miss approach and risk failure? However, you cannot treat this lightly. It's a question of your credibility itself. But the thing is, it's all about the approach and the process. If the tool is faulty, you cannot blame the result for it. I will share with you a method by which you can achieve what was a major problem till now. This method will need use of the Excel software application. Spreadsheets lend themselves to detailed, granular calculations that are the basis of revenue forecasts, but they need to be deployed in a planned way. You may now have a question. Why me? How am I qualified to make this video? My goal is to share the learning from my numerous revenue exercise sessions to benefit you. I would urge you to keep watching till the end for a bonus reveal. I will show you how to ensure consistent achievement of budget and even exceeding it. Let's jump right in. I will share with you a method by which you can achieve what was a major problem till now. You need to nail this for being successful in budgeting. So let's jump right into the strategies for achieving this. Let's quickly revisit the 3 stages of the hotel room revenue budget. Planning in the preliminary stages is indispensable, and that begins with looking closely at 3 things, part of the historical analysis: trends, seasonality, and outliers. Trends in occupancy average rate, room revenue, RevPAR in the past are invaluable to determine how the business demand and supply are behaving. Let's take an example. You need to know how occupancy, average rate, room revenue, RevPAR are trending, say in the last 5 years. The next factor is so critical in historical analysis that we're going to devote a full strategy for it coming right up. Many hotel managers do not use this powerful tool in their budgeting. It's the single biggest fallacy. It may well be the reason, as I said, why you're falling short consistently. Let me illustrate. A hotel is a seasonal business with occupancies varying from month to month. See the chart in the next slide. Note from the chart above how the hotel is a seasonal industry. Occupancies go up and down. They were 61% in June and 93% in April and 80% in January. That's a lot of fluctuations, and the business has to deal with it. Note the month-wise market segments. We will see about this later. Number one is powerful, as it now brings that seasonality factor we talked about into your budgeting. We will see this again later. The hotel, as I mentioned before, has different months of business volume, but most budgets never reflect this. Outliers are abnormal events in the past year which distort comparisons. Your budget should remove the effect of that and take into account that in the current year, that it will not be repeated. Typically, outliers are like, for example, Olympics that takes place in a city once in 4 years. After historical analysis, it's important to thoroughly assess the market in which the hotel will operate in the year. And in that, the first factor is so important. We will be devoting a specific strategy to the first factor, competition. Many hotel managers skip this step in budgeting at their own peril. Your competition is what you need to benchmark yourself against constantly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. The hotel, as we said, is a unique industry. Every hotel performance is compared to its competitive set. What is a competitive set? A group of 4 or 5 hotels which have similar product or service. The competitive set is what can take business away from your hotel. The second factor in market analysis is to understand how the economy itself is behaving, where the hotel is located. Is demand growing? Are there any downturns? Within the economy, what is the position of competition or supply? Is your hotel operating in a saturated excess supply market? That's a recipe for disaster. The last factor in market analysis is the source of demand itself. Which feeder cities and areas are generating the maximum demand? You want to know where your customers are coming from. The second stage of the budgeting planning process, after basically the pre-budget plan, is the budgeting process itself. It can be looked at in the following ways. The budgeting process can be looked at in 3 critical ways, and they are the backbone of your budgeting effort. It begins with a big picture overview. It moves on to the building blocks, as I mentioned, of hotel room revenue market segments, and finally, assumptions. Since this is a video about budgeting for hotel room revenue and the stages you must go through, you must get familiar with these pillars, which are instrumental in delivering that room revenue. The budgeting process itself needs a focused approach, but most hotel managers do not pay attention to this foundational step. There is a saying, don't miss the forest for the trees. You need to step back and take a big picture overview of what you want to achieve for your budget in terms of these hotel KPIs. Ultimately, room revenue will come from your target audience. Market segments represent that target audience. More importantly, different market segments have different occupancy, average daily rate, and thus different room revenue contributions. The first major category in market segments is individual, and this is the category that normally commands the highest rates and yields in a hotel. It consists of the negotiated, transient, and direct segments of the market, as you can see. The second major category is the group category. This is the category that has a mix of the highest rates and yields in a hotel on the one hand. That's MICE, meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, and volume on the other hand, provided by the wholesale market segment. So why should you categorize into individual and group? Well, a hotel business being seasonal has to extract a healthy mix of rate and volume. Coming to assumptions, they are the foundation of any effective budgeting process. They mainly deal with key performance indicators and comparisons between them and how they are arrived at in the budget numbers, which is the basis. Comparison with actuals and budget and the actual basis of calculation of budget amounts form the bulk of assumptions. Stage 3 is actually after the budget is approved and becomes operational, but it's no less important. This stage, which is after the budget is approved, is the one that provides the link between your actual results through profit and loss statements and the budget effort you put in. It includes the monthly and the yearly forecasts that are carried out and how you adjust them for changes in the market conditions. And strategy 3 of the budget process, which is executed ironically after the budget is approved, is about linking actuals to the estimates in the budget. The monthly profit and loss report is a key cog in your marketing wheel. Annual forecasts give you a full picture of what your room revenue looks like. You may not think it is, but this is the golden rule, and it provides you a better handle on your monthly P&L as being indispensable for your budgeting and forecasting. The pre-budget plan is something that cannot be ignored in the budgeting process. The proof of the pudding. So we can recap the 3 stages of the budget process as above: a before budget, historical and market analysis, 3 strategies during the budget process, and a post-budget forecast stage relating to actual financial statement results. And in doing so, you will carry the following key takeaways. Let's summarize the strategies we unlocked and which you will be using going forward. All of these will achieve you higher room revenue consistently. And now, voila, for the bonus reveal you've been waiting for. Thank you for watching the video to the end. How are variances a game changer? Well, if you use the room revenue strategies we went through and utilize those techniques and determine the differences between your actuals and your budget, you would end up delivering budget achievements consistently. Want to know how to relate the budget to a real-world hotel profit and loss statement visually? Watch this video. It's explained entirely using a real-world income statement.